It does not appear that there's any kind of an effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That looks like a second plane.
I did not see a plane go in. That just exploded.
We just saw another plane coming in from the side.
You did. That was out of
Yes, and that's the second explosion. You could see the plane come in just from the right-hand side of the screen. So this looks like it is some sort of a concerted effort to attack the world.
My brother was a New York City firefighter who on September 11, 2001 was on his way home for his night shift in Brooklyn, Squad 1. And he heard on his radio scanner that the Twin Towers were hit. He was on his way home to play golf with myself, my brother George, and my brother Russ. He turned his truck around, he drove back to his firehouse where his fire company had already responded. So he grabbed his gear, he put it in the back of his truck, he drove to the mouth of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel where it was closed for security reasons. Now this tunnel is the longest tunnel in the United States. It's almost 2 miles long. He strapped 60 pounds of gear on his back and ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel where he gave up his life while saving others. We were so proud when we found out that he wasn't coming home, that he had given his life, that his older siblings, and Stephen was the youngest of 7. Stephen was a father of 5. His oldest child was 10. His youngest was 9 months old. He knew when he was running through that tunnel that that was a possibility. But it was more important that he saved somebody than himself. And we were so proud as a family that we started a foundation in his honor called the Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation. And every year we retrace his final heroic footsteps with a run in New York City. And this past year, we had over 30,000 runners come from all over the world.
Over the past few years, we've had over 50 cities participate. And really what we've done is we want this to grow in the proper way. We don't want a Tunnel to Towers run experience to be different in Fort Lauderdale than it is in New York, or, you know, we want them to have continuity. So we've decided to actually grow them slowly over a period of time. And our ultimate goal is that we would love to have no less than 343 cities conduct runs around the country, all Tunnel to Towers runs, because 343 is the number of firefighters who were killed on September 11th.
Good job, buddy. Nice job.
It's incredible. When you come out of the tunnel, there's 343 firefighters holding the pictures of their brothers that they lost that day. And when you line that up, that line is so long you just can't believe it.
If we can make it here, we're gonna make it absolutely anywhere. It's up.
did you first become aware of the Building for America's program?
Building for America's Bravest and Tunnel to Towers reached out to me. I was in the process of applying for a home loan from Veterans United. When I told my story to the person that I was speaking with on the phone, they decided to contact Tunnel to Towers organization. From there, they reached out to me. They asked me if they could do this for me, and it blew me away. I didn't believe it at first. It was overwhelming, and it's still overwhelming because even today, it's beyond anything that I expected, beyond anything I was hoping for. And these guys are great. They don't just do it for me. They're doing it for a lot of people, and they're changing lives. They're making a huge impact on so many people, improving the conditions of people that ran into some bad situations and making it a whole lot better for them. People are a lot better off because of people like Tunnel to Towers and Building for America's Bravest.
June 11, 2011, we delivered the first home. And the smart technology, that John Ponte that I just mentioned before, put all of this smart technology into the house where you work it off an iPad. Because you see the sacrifice that these great men and women are making. And these homes have to be designed for their individual needs. The 10-year anniversary of September 11th was on a stage with the former mayor Rudy Giuliani. I stood up there and I made a commitment that we were going to build 38 of these specially adapted smart homes. At the time, I did not know how we were going to do it. And outside of my cousin John sitting behind here, I did not know one person sitting here or one person sitting out there. But I knew the glory of God, and I knew what my brother did would inspire people to come together and make sure that we get these houses built, because we went to war because what happened on September 11th. And that's why our foundation was so committed. We saw the difference that it made in Brenda Morocco's house. That's why our foundation became so committed. And we know that it would make a difference in these men and women's lives because they paid such a big price for our freedom.
What is the nature of your injury, and how did it happen?
I sustained a gunshot wound to the neck. The bullet entered the left side of my neck, didn't necessarily go through my spine. It went close enough to cause the damage that it did without actually making contact with my spinal cord. The ballistics of the impact was enough to sever those connections that are in there. Bullet went down into my chest, punctured my right lung, and went out my right shoulder blade. Shattered my shoulder blade, broke a few ribs. So when it happened, I was doing rooftop security, basically a sniper lookout, while my platoon was raiding a village that was known to be kind of a safe haven for bomb makers, weapons caches. So we were clearing this village. I was on a rooftop ahead of the platoon, looking out for possible ambushes, possible snipers. Stood up to move to the next position that we were going, and that's when I got shot in the neck. I didn't really realize at the time what was happening. I just kind of lost feeling. There was a shock to my body, kind of a ringing in my ears, and I couldn't control anything. I fell down on the roof, but amazingly, my buddies were able to get me down. I stopped breathing for a while. I was unconscious. They got me breathing again, woke me back up, and essentially saved my life, kept me breathing until the medics were able to fly in during an ambush. So it was a pretty incredible feat. Got me out of there and turned what could have been a really bad situation into basically a recovery effort, an amazing recovery effort.
Well, Ben, this is a little more than a decorating item, but I felt it was appropriate to give it to you now after Frank just spoke. As he just told you, the genesis of Tunnel to Towers Foundation is Stephen Siller, who was killed on 9/11. We would like to share something with you that hopefully you put up on one of those beautiful custom shelves in your house, and think of Stephen a little bit every now and again. It is And Frank, maybe you want to give it to him? It is actually a piece of steel from the South Tower of the World Trade Center, where Stephen ultimately perished, and would like to have that. We can't have anything, we don't have anything else that's more dear to us as a foundation or as a family than little pieces of steel. Stephen's in that steel, sure as I'm standing here right now. His DNA is in that steel. So with that, I would like to present that to you right now, Ben. 1, 2, 3. Pull back that flag! Pull back that flag!
What do you think there, buddy? Amazing. It's unbelievable. Right?
Welcome home, Ben. That's it. Welcome home, buddy.
Now, how has this incident impacted your life?
Well, the injury has had obviously a huge impact. It's, a lot of things have changed. You could say that daily life is a little more challenging. It's a little more work to get through the day. Still need a good bit of help, but luckily I've been surrounded by an incredible support group, starting with my family, my parents. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better mom and dad to be with me through all this. They give everything that they have to make sure that I'm as comfortable as it can possibly be. Same with this community. This community has shown incredible support. I just feel love pouring out from them all the time from the beginning. When I was first brought back to the hospital, I already had letters waiting for me telling me, we're thinking about you, we're praying for you, just, offering to help in any way that they could. So, the impact of the injury has been, rough at times, but, the impact that this community and the people around me have had on me is unbelievable, and it completely offsets all the bad, I think.
So when you talk about community and how much it means to you, how did it feel when you first returned home?
It was overwhelming, to tell you the truth. I mean, I guess I expected, a certain welcoming, from, I guess, people I knew that, I had talked to during the recovery process. But I mean, when I came home and saw what they were doing for me, it really blew me away. It's beyond anything that I expected, and even now when I think about it, people I've never talked to, people I've never seen, people I've never spoken to, coming out to show support. I mean, the impact of this community on me is it's overwhelming, and it never stops. It still hasn't stopped.
Okay, so this is the kitchen. Ben, we'll just start here. This is the sink that is lowered to his height. He'll be able to roll under this with his wheelchair, and he accesses the faucet with the touch control. That's how he turns on his water. This is the security camera. He's got cameras that face all around the house, so he knows where anybody is when they come in any doorway. This is his countertop. He can roll under this countertop, and he's able to, if he cuts up his cucumbers or something, he can do it here. Mm-hmm. The stove right here is an induction stove, and it will lower. If he wants it to, he can and raise up. And he can get up, because he's in a wheelchair and he's paralyzed from the chest down, he can't lean. He has to go straight on. So he can go straight under his stove, he can go straight under his microwave. And so there's an internal mechanism in the cabinets here. Ben can push a button here, or he can do it from his iPad, and the cabinet will lower, and he can access the dishes from there. And then he has a refrigerator that he can access drawers that are just his height with the special features that he can open easily because he is a quadriplegic now. He's got a smaller refrigerator that he can keep his, it better just be bottled water in here. He can keep that, he can get to it easily. The stove is his level. This is his living area with his TV. This will have his smart home technology he can access from the TV. He can access this book unit with his wheelchair. This is Ben's bedroom. So he has his own desk here. He'll be setting up his computer because he's going to JSU. So he'll have his books and his computer set up here. And you notice everything is wide enough for him to get his wheelchair through, and he won't get stuck. This, he'll have easy access to go out on the back deck. He loves to be outside. This is Ben's bathroom, right off of his bedroom. So he'll be able to go in here, and everything will be very handy for him to access in here.
Do the touch on and off.
Are these touch?
Yes.
Sam is showing you the faucet is just a touch control. He can touch it to turn it on and touch it to turn it off. Yeah. This is Ben's safe room. This room is completely encased in concrete. Bottom, wall, ceiling, all around concrete. This door is a metal door. Our wonderful painter has made it look like wood, but this is a metal door. So this is his safe room in here. This is Ben's laundry room, which has a washer and dryer at his level that he's able to access. If he does his own laundry, I'm hoping he does his own laundry. We'll see. Yeah.
How will this smart home impact your future?
The biggest part is independence. Being a naturally, I guess, independent person, it's somewhat of a struggle to need assistance with a lot of things that before the injury were quite easy and that I would much rather have done on myself. I guess you could say I feel burdensome when I ask for help with a lot of things, especially small things. So being able to get through daily routines on my own without asking for help, without being a burden on anyone else, it's gonna have an incredible impact on my daily life. It's gonna affect me in profound ways. It's gonna make life a lot easier on a lot of people, especially me and my family.
Now, how important do you feel these kind of smart homes will impact the lives of other wounded warriors coming home?
Well, a lot of people are coming home under some rough circumstances, and I mean, it's never expected, and you know, it's a huge, it's an incredible uplifting thing to know that people that you've never spoke to want to help just because of bad circumstances, just because of misfortune. And you know, not knowing anything about me, not knowing anything about these other guys that they're helping, just that they answered the call to serve. Bad circumstances came out of it. They want to improve these people's lives. And to me, there's nothing more powerful than someone doing something good just because they want to do something good for someone else.